The word of the day tonight, folks, for this Raw review, for your Monday, March 1st, 2021, the word of the day, folks, is anticipation. Frank, I know you're watching, big bro. I know you watching, big bro. I know you watching. That ain't the point here. The point is anticipation. People, what did I say last week on the Raw review last week? I said that Raw Wrestling Entertainment had one shot. One bullet in the chamber. You're playing fucking Russian roulette. One shot in the chamber. That Bobby Lashley had to win the WWE Championship. What happened tonight on this show? What happened on this show? Now, specifically, I'm here telling myself as I'm watching the show, why don't they just announce Miz and Lashley to main event the show? Why would you drag it to the 9 o'clock hour and the 10 o'clock hour just to pop a fucking rating on this show? Because you know we're on the road to WrestleMania and Raw can't even pop a 2.0 rating. Yet, people want to tell me in the WrestleMania season group chat, oh, you have to build anticipation for the matchup. How can you build anticipation where you know, I know, everybody in the fucking world who's watching Monday Night Raw that knows that Miz is not walking into Raw next week, let alone Fastlane, and let alone WrestleMania, as WWE Champion? Oh, but you have to create anticipation for the show, for the matchup. Anticipation, bro. You want to build up an anticipation where the inevitable was going to happen? Hey, Miz, don't make promises, big bro, that you can't keep. Don't make promises, big bro, that you can't keep. Bobby Lashley, folks, if you miss the show tonight, and I don't blame you, if you miss the show, Bobby Lashley is the new WWE Champion. Now, I will commend Raw Wrestling Entertainment for two things here tonight. They gave Lashley the championship, that's one. And two, they kept Drew McIntyre out of the matchup. Good. I can respect Drew McIntyre just a little bit more. Because I know McIntyre wants to get his revenge for what happened at the Chamber pay-per-view last Sunday when Lashley attacked him, which had the Miz cash in Money in the Bank and boom, boom, boom. Miz is champ. Only for 2 weeks though, but it is what it is. If you people thought that The Miz was going to walk in the Raw next week as champion, if you thought that The Miz was going to walk in the Fastlane as champion, or if you thought with a fucking psychotic mind of yours, if you thought that The Miz was going to walk into WrestleMania as champion, I hate to say this, but you're a complete fucking buffoon. A buffoon. Baboon. No. The Miz was not going to walk in the Raw next week as WWE Champion. Now that we have Lashley as champion now, what does he do at WrestleMania? I can think of three things, folks, at this point. What Lashley can do at WrestleMania. He can defend the title against Brock Lesnar. Lashley always wanted a match with Brock Lesnar. But I think that's SummerSlam worthy. It could happen at WrestleMania. It can. But some people is going to say, oh, but that's a WrestleMania worthy matchup. It could be. Depending on the story and the build. Sure. Could be. That's match one. Match two. And I think this company will possibly do either option 2 or match 3 or option 3 here. They can give us Lashley and McIntyre for WrestleMania. Now, I said this on SmackDown Review last Friday, to end the show, to end that review last Friday. Lashley and McIntyre is not a WrestleMania worthy match. We've seen this at a D-level pay-per-view last year called Backlash in 2020 at the Performance Center. You want to sit there and tell me that Lashley and McIntyre is WrestleMania worthy when we saw that at Backlash last year? You tell me, folks. You tell me. Now, they can go with that match, which I think they will, because I don't think they'll get Lesnar. Or Which brings to my third option and the third match that I think that can happen for WrestleMania is that they book a triple threat match between Lesnar, McIntyre, and Lashley for the WWE Championship. Now, a lot of things will have to happen in order for Brock Lesnar to come in for WrestleMania. He'll have to cross the border because he's in, I think he's in Saskatchewan, I think, in Canada. He's in Saskatchewan. He'll have to cross the border, quarantine for 2 weeks, work WrestleMania, and then if anything, if he wants to go back to Saskatchewan, he would have to cross the border again and quarantine for another 2 weeks. Now, I don't think that's what Vince will do, but at this point in the game, and we're in the middle of WrestleMania, you can't put anything past Vince at this very point. They gave the fucking Miz the WWE Championship on the road to WrestleMania. You can't put anything past Vince at this fucking point. They gave Miz the title only for the drop it 2 weeks later. Trust me, folks. Don't put anything past Vince and good old Bruce Pritchard nowadays. We don't know what Vince and Bruce got in mind for WrestleMania. We don't. But the only positive thing about this show is tonight, outside of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, which was fucking fantastic, the match was really good for what it was. Outside of McIntyre and Sheamus and the main event of the show tonight, nothing really happened. Those are the only two positive things that happened on the show tonight. If anything, there's a lot more negative than positive, which of course that is every single week. Of course that is every single week on this fucking show. Anticipation show, folks. Anticipation. Tom Phillips actually said this could be one of the biggest nights in Raw history. What? 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 Yeah. Sure. We'll go over everything here on the show tonight. McIntyre and Sheamus had a great matchup. Great match. And I'm sitting here asking myself when I'm watching the matchup, you could have gave me this match for the Chamber pay-per-view? With McIntyre defending the championship against Sheamus? You could have given me that match for the Chamber. This match was good. Match of the night, of course. Fucking match of the night, no fucking question. Match of the night. Sure. Sure. We'll go over everything on the show tonight. And what I thought was a waste of a time show. And again, folks, we are on the road to WrestleMania. And I got a feeling when we get the ratings tomorrow from Brian Alvarez tomorrow that the show will not reach a 2.0. Now, it possibly could because, you got to build anticipation. Anticipation. I don't know. But it is what it is. If they draw a 2.0 rating, fine. You can fucking pop up the champagne you want. I don't give a fuck. This show is terrible every single week. But like I said, folks, we will go over everything on the show tonight. And what I thought about the show tonight. Everything else. The little positive. The whole lot of negative. Folks, all I will say is this. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Where champions lose on TV. If you're Riddle, if you're Shayna Baszler, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. This is your official Monday Night Raw review for your Monday, March 1st, 2021. I am Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel. If you guys are happy over the fact that Lashley now is the new WWE champion, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show tonight. If you saw the show tonight, if you didn't watch the show tonight, I don't blame you. God bless you, as a matter of fact. And if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Turn that bell, guys, for all notifications as I upload every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. SmackDown review is live on the channel right now. Brian wants Reigns at Fastlane. Now, if you guys don't know, Brian will go up against Jimmy. Well, not Jimmy. I wish Jimmy. Jey Uso on SmackDown on Friday night in a steel cage. And if Brian wins that steel cage match, he will get his Universal Championship match at Fastlane, most likely against Roman Reigns. And if he doesn't, Brian will have to fall in line. So SmackDown should be pretty on Friday, but that matchup between Braun and Uso in a cage should be pretty good. SmackDown Review is live on the channel right now. Link to this video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen, as well as down below in the description. NXT Review from this past Wednesday is also live on the channel right now. Is this the end of Undisputed Era? I believe so. Cole explained his actions on Kyle O'Reilly and what he did on NXT last week and also on TakeOver. Link to NXT Review will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen, as well as down below in the description. If you guys are not following me on social media, you guys should. Twitter at GoodVibesChris with an _ and Instagram at GoodVibesChris183. I will leave my links to my social media down below in the description. Let's get on with the show, man. Tonight, Monday Night Raw for your March 1st, 2021. Tonight's Raw opens up with a look back at last week's Raw, where Bobby Lashley threatened The Miz and earned a title shot tonight. We go live from the ThunderDome, and the former champion, Drew McIntyre, makes his return to the show and comes down to the ring. McIntyre says it's been a bitch of a month for him. Sheamus, his best friend of 20 years, stabbed him in the back, and he doesn't know why, but there's going to be a beat. But they're going to beat the hell out of each other very soon. 2 weeks ago, he stepped inside the chamber against 5 other men, defended the coveted WWE Championship, retained the title, then got attacked by Bobby Lashley, got his ass beat. Then The Miz cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase, and now he's champion. Yeah, I know, McIntyre. I know. We all know how you feel, big bro. We all know how you feel, big boy. McIntyre stares at the WrestleMania sign, which at this point we're on the road to WrestleMania, so you have to point at the sign up there. Since we're on the road to WrestleMania, it says it's fine because he knows his mission is to regain the WWE Championship and main event WrestleMania once again. Who knows? Now, before continuing with McIntyre's promo here, now that Lashley won the title tonight, does he main event night 1 of WrestleMania? I think so. I think, in my opinion, both world titles should main event both days. Like, for example, when Lashley defends the title at WrestleMania, the Raw Championship match should main event night 1, and Roman and Edge, if they add Daniel Bryan, which I think they will, if they add Bryan to the match with Edge and Roman, making it a triple threat, I think that match should main event night 2. Since Edge won the Rumble, he should main event WrestleMania as in the last match of the show. Just my opinion. If I was to be running a wrestling business, that's what I would do. So, he says he didn't beat Brock Lesnar at the show last year, defending the title time and time again, and carried the company on his back for a year only to get screwed at the finish line, not a chance. Now, I agree with what McIntyre said here. He beat Brock Lesnar, he carried his company, he defended the championship day in and day out for all of 2020, and he gets stabbed in the back. I agree here. McIntyre should be walking into WrestleMania this year as WWE champion. But, Vince and Creative, they gotta... There you go. They gotta screw and fuck McIntyre going into WrestleMania. The Miz and John Morrison walk out wearing suits, and The Miz makes the announcers announce him as champion before mountains of pyro and fucking smoke goes all over the place here. Miz says that's more like it, and he couldn't help but hear all of Drew's complaining. He admires now how much class Drew has shown for a former champion. He says it was inevitable that he would become champion again. Drew tells him to get into the ring so he can congratulate him, but Miz denies. Miz says why Drew's upset at why Miz is upset. Miz I can't even talk today. Miz asks why Drew is upset with him. Morrison asks Drew if he'd be upset at an eagle flying in the sky, and Miz says of course not. So why be angry at the Money in the Bank winner cashing in? Miz says the only person Drew should be mad at is Bobby Lashley. And after what happened tonight, if I'm Drew McIntyre, I'm 100% pissed off. Drew says he isn't stupid. He won't fall for Miz's mind games. So if Miz can somehow get through tonight, he'll worry about him then. Miz says he didn't want to make a deal with Lashley, but Bobby threatened his family, so he had to. Miz continues that Lashley is getting a title shot when McIntyre is more deserving. Oh, now you want to say McIntyre's more deserving? You took the title from him. How's McIntyre more deserving? You took the title from him. So fucking stupid. Who writes this fucking shit? So the three of them should work together. Now, I get it, folks. The Miz is trying to be a chicken shit heel to try to have somebody work for him so he can walk into WrestleMania as champion. McIntyre, the smart guy that McIntyre is, says no. Fuck you. Fuck you. Why would I want to fucking work with somebody who took the championship from me? Fuck you, Miz. Fuck you. There you go. MVP comes out with a cane. I don't know why he had a crutch. He should have had a cane. It looks more stylish to MVP, but, you know, to each his own here. MVP comes out with a cane and stands on the stage. MVP says, he asks if this is the beginning of a new business relationship or the pathetic ramblings of Miz and Morrison. He asks Drew, who says MVP should know by now, but he doesn't need or want anyone's help. Good, Drew. Good. Good shit. MVP is fine with that. That tells Miz that tonight Lashley will take the title from him. Oh, and that match will begin at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Let me repeat that again, folks. MVP is fine with that and tells Miz that tonight Lashley will take the title from him. Oh, and that match will begin at 9 p.m. sharp. Sharp. Why are you announcing the time for this match to happen? You could have simply fucking announced the fact that this match was going to main event the show. The match was going to main event the show anyways. So why would you want to announce the fact that the championship is going to be defended at 9 o'clock sharp? Sharp. No idea. Fucking stupid. Just straight stupid. MVP leaves, but out comes Sheamus. And McIntyre meets him on the ramp so they can get the match starting. They start brawling. Referees try to pull them apart. But Drew clotheslines Sheamus over the barricade and gets back into the ring to wait for Sheamus. I remember back then, you know, me and my brother used to watch wrestling all together every single week. And we would call Sheamus Sheamus. Sheamus. I love Sheamus, man. Really love him. Now, we will go over this again at the 10 o'clock hour. Because, well, we will go over it at the 9 o'clock hour. Because apparently, Miz and Lashley were supposed to have a match for the title at 9 o'clock sharp. We'll get to that as the show goes on. We get Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre to kick off the show. This match was physical. Physical. This match was so good. And I asked myself, as I'm watching the show and I'm watching this match up here, why couldn't we get this at the Chamber pay-per-view? Why am I getting this match tonight on Raw when we could have gotten this match last Sunday at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view with McIntyre defending the title against Sheamus? Instead of having Drew McIntyre defend the championship against 5 former champions inside the Elimination Chamber. Why? But, you know, I don't book this shit. I don't write this shit. Thank God I fucking don't. And I wouldn't write this shit at all. Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, this match was great. In my opinion, this was the match of the night. In my opinion, match of the night. Oh, great. They had the match of the night already to kick off the show. So we already knew the rest of the fucking show would be completely fucking terrible and a waste of everybody's time. Again, folks, to each his own. McIntyre wins here. This match was so good. This match was really fucking great. There was a spot in this match where I think McIntyre was going to do an Irish whip to Sheamus on the ropes. And Sheamus, for some odd reason, I don't know how this happened, but Sheamus, I think, fell between the top and the middle rope. He fell right in between it. I think his head snapped on the top rope. and he went under and ended up being under the bottom rope. And I'm like, how did that happen? And I'm thinking to myself, is Sheamus okay? Is Sheamus alright? Because I remember one time, I think years ago, I think when Enzo Amore fell on the fucking ropes and shit, and his head hit the rope, only for the rope to hit him back in the head, only for him to hit the hard part of the canvas, which ended up him giving a concussion. That was a weird spot there a long time ago, but like I said, this match was really good. This match was hard hitting. Hard fucking hitting between these two men. Match of the night, in my opinion. This was let me tell you, man. The chemistry between Sheamus and McIntyre, one that they've been friends for over 20 years, really did show in this match. Really did. The chemistry, the way that they know each other so well, it worked really well in this matchup. And like I said, we could have gotten this match at the Chamber instead of the show tonight. But like I said, I don't write this fucking show. So both men get up and chop each other. Then Sheamus lifts Drew, but McIntyre rolls down and pinch him for a 2 count. McIntyre rolls, looks for the roll up to no avail. Sheamus hits an Irish curse backbreaker for a near fall, which I will never take that move from Sheamus ever. No money in the world will make me take that spot from him. No one. No money in the world. Then looks for a cloverleaf, but McIntyre rolls him up for a 2 count. Drew connects with a future shock DDT for a near fall. Then both men go to opposite corners. Drew runs for a Claymore kick, but Sheamus rolls to the apron. Drew grabs him, but Sheamus hits him but yanks him down to the top rope. Sheamus goes to the top rope and drags McIntyre up with him. They struggle on the top until McIntyre hits Sheamus with an Irish curse backbreaker. Drew can't believe that they didn't do it. He lifts Sheamus and hooks the arms for another DDT, but Sheamus counters, shoves him to the corner. Sheamus catches Drew as he tries to leap over him, but hits him with an Alabama slam for a near fall. I thought that was going to be it at that point. I thought that. Sheamus goes to the corner, runs for a brogue kick, but McIntyre catches him with a one-legged Claymore. One leg. Caught Sheamus in the fucking jaw. With a Claymore kick, Drew McIntyre pins Sheamus and gets the victory over Sheamus. This match was good. Match of the night, in my opinion. Drew, he's going to have to most likely get his spot at the title at WrestleMania. I think we will get McIntyre and Lashley for the title. If not, we will probably get a triple threat. Like I said in the opening of the show, we'll probably get Lashley and Lesnar, or Lashley and McIntyre, or Lashley, McIntyre, and Lesnar in a triple threat at WrestleMania for the title. So, this match was good for what it was. It was very good. Very good, hard-hitting, physical. Both men literally beat the shit out of each other in this match. And you got to give both men credit here. McIntyre wins here. He gets his payback from Sheamus beating McIntyre at that gauntlet match 2 weeks ago on Raw. Well, yeah. No, 3 weeks ago on Raw. Sorry about that. 3 weeks ago on Raw. After the match, Sheamus and McIntyre stare at each other, and Drew looks saddened by the whole thing while Sheamus just looks angry. It's only 15 minutes until the Miz defends the title against Bobby Lashley. Naomi is dancing backstage, runs to Nia Jax to stare at each other. After the break, they go one-on-one. Naomi takes on Nia Jax. Now, I said this. We're getting Nia versus Naomi. Champions should not lose on TV. Again, that's another word of the fucking day. Term of the day. Champions should not lose on live television. That is the term of the day, folks, on this review. Not only anticipation is the word of the day, but the term of the day is champions should not lose on live TV. Naomi versus Nia Jax, simple. Champions should not be losing on TV, so therefore, who you think won this match here? If you said Nia Jax, ding, 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 ding. You are correct. Nia Jax wins here with a one-handed powerbomb with a victory. Just simple as it is. So, we're at the 9 o'clock hour. We're at the 9 o'clock hour, folks. Lashley and MVP come to the ring for the title match. The Miz makes Lashley wait, and it's a good couple of minutes before the music hits. However, no Miz comes out. The camera cuts backstage and the Miz is doubled over, holding his stomach, with Morrison consoling. And I thought to myself, yeah, they're probably going to drag this to the 10 o'clock hour to pop a fucking rating on the fucking show. So Pearce appears and asks what's going on, and the Miz says he's cramping up. You are a professional athlete. Now, sure, professional athletes go through injuries all the time. Sure, they go through cramps, injuries, muscle aches, everything else under the sun. Sure. But the Miz is a chicken shit heel. So, knowing that, the Miz was fucking trying to dodge Bobby Lashley as much as possible, I knew he would do something like this. And I'm here thinking to myself, okay, Miz has cramps, quote unquote, cramps, and they're going to make the title match at the 10 o'clock hour. And I'm here thinking to myself, you could have simply put this match at the main event of the show. Why put this at the 9 o'clock hour when you know damn well for a fact this was going to main event the fucking show? So fucking stupid. So dumb. So continuing on here, Pearce appears on the screen and asks what's going on with the Miz, says he's cramping up, quote unquote, coming out of both ends. Pearce says the Miz is the champion and he's obligated to defend the title. Lashley has heard enough. He runs his way back to backstage. Miz continues to make his case for not being able to compete and that he needs more time. When Lashley grabs him by the throat and tells him they're having the match and he's going to beat his ass. Lashley walks off and Pearce tells the Miz that he has until 10 o'clock p.m. and the match is happening. Wait, folks, so you see. If you didn't watch the show tonight, they did have the match at the 9 o'clock hour. Wait till you see what the fuck happened at the 10 o'clock hour. Wait and see. Strowman makes his way to the ring, and he does not look happy. Yeah, I'm not happy watching the fucking show, but I have to watch the show to review the show because I love talking professional wrestling. Braun Strowman is in the ring and says the company and management has something against him. He says he was suspended for headbutting Adam Pearce and he was left out of the Elimination Chamber match. Strowman, for the fucking umpteenth time. Strowman, you did not get left out of the Chamber match. You are not a former WWE champion. The matchup was for former WWE champions only. Strowman, you're a former Universal Champion. For the umpteenth time. Damn. He watched the pay-per-view from his home and it sucked without him. No. The show still sucked. Listen, the show is still going to suck whether Strowman was in the fucking show or not. It was still going to suck at the end of the day. And now he's out here for a stupid tag team match that he only found out about 2 minutes ago. And he doesn't even know who his partner is. Braun says Pearce and Shane McMahon are running around with no idea what they're doing, and it's starting to really piss him off. So Shane and Adam Pearce make their way down to the ring, and Shane tells Braun to relax. McMahon says they're not trying to make a fool out of him, but he has a clear inability to meet his goals. Shane says he is angry and upset, and he's here to help him. He helps a lot of people, including himself. Sure you do. He's currently taking a course that includes a conflict management section that is obviously far above Braun's reading level. Shane says conflict resolution is all about communication, and that's why he booked the tag team match for him, where his partner will be Adam Pearce. Shane says the only person Braun has conflict with is Adam Pearce. So that's his partner, and Pearce is shocked. Braun says that idea sucks, and Shane tells him that Pearce is more than qualified. Shane tells Braun that if he and Pearce can win, they win the Raw Tag Team titles. And so now we're just handing tag team title shots all of a sudden. So all of a sudden, all of a sudden, we are handing out tag team championship matches because for the sake of the fucking show. Braun said that is fine, but if Pearce screws things up for him, he's going to get these hands. Braun grabs Pearce by the lapels and screams at him. Then we get the Raw Tag Team title match all of a sudden between the Hurt Business, which is Cedric Alexander, and Sheldon Benjamin versus Braun Strowman and Adam Pearce. I did not care for this matchup because, you know, they're building towards Strowman and Shane at WrestleMania. I mean, it's pretty clear here that we're getting Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. Are we getting a gimmick match? Most likely. Either it's last man standing, false count anywhere. You know Shane is going to fall off a Titantron at WrestleMania. Shane, I guarantee you this. We're getting Braun and Shane at WrestleMania. How much you guys want to bet Shane is going to dive off of a fucking high up fucking structure at WrestleMania? I guarantee you this. Guarantee you that. I already see it before it even happens. Shane will fall off of something 40 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet at WrestleMania. Guarantee you. I bet the house, the cat, everything. That will happen at WrestleMania. So we get this tag team title match, and to be honest with you, I just... Yeah. Didn't care what 1 second. The Hurt Business retain the titles here. Do I even need to go over how... I mean, for the people who missed the show tonight, I might as well go over it. Cedric dropkicks Braun, then tags Sheldon, who comes in to hit a Shining Wizard. They team up to battle Braun for a moment, but Braun hits both and knocks Alexander from the ring, then hits Sheldon with a running powerbomb. He's about to cover, but Shane jumps on the apron and demands Braun attack Pearce. Braun reluctantly does it, but Pearce immediately gets rolled up and gets pinned. I'm telling you, we're getting Braun and Shane at WrestleMania. In a gimmick match? Yeah. What that match is, I don't know. The Hurt Business retains the Raw Tag Team Championships. It is what it is at this point. Needless to say, Braun is not happy after the match. Pearce hightails it, and Braun screams at Shane and tells him he will wreck the entire place before leaving. Did Strowman do that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We get Elias and Jackson Riker approaching Damian Pearce and Bad Bunny, the 24/7 champion. Elias says they have a lot of mutual respect and he has a big opportunity for Bad Bunny. Elias says only a few know what it's like to sit atop the music mountain, and he knows nobody will ever reach the heights he has, but Bunny has potential. Elias offers him a collaboration and says people will cry tears of joy when they hear it. Elias says he'll have his people call their people. Yeah, I'll have my people call your people. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So, after that, as the match goes on here, why do I have the screen on me? There you go. So Elias says he'll have his people call his people. Yeah, I'll have my people call your people. Yeah. Bunny speaks Spanish to Priest and he relies to decline to Elias. Then he just stares at Bunny. Elias is in the ring with Jackson Riker coming out of commercial break. He is unhappy about the disrespect he and his music have been shown. Who listens to Elias' music? Who really does? I don't. So he needs to remind everyone, especially Bad Bunny, that WWE stands for Walk with Elias. He starts playing music, but Bad Bunny's music hits, and out comes Damian Priest. Now, a little attention to detail here, folks, which I absolutely love here. Damian Priest had the Puerto Rican flag on his right leg. Love it. Looks really freaking good. I think Priest is fucking amazing. But at the same time, how long will it take for Priest to be buried and fucked on the main roster. I'll give it a couple of months. But I know Priest has his Puerto Rican flag on the right side of his leg. You gotta represent Puerto Rico, represent the Bronx on this highest of highest. Good. I love Priest for that. Now, I'm watching this matchup and I'm here thinking to myself, it's Elias. It's fucking Elias here. Why is this match dragging? Priest has been on a fucking hot streak on the main roster. Why is Elias taking Damian Priest to the limit on Monday Night Raw? Priest should be fucking blowing his way towards the main roster. Priest should be fucking destroying his way up to a championship on Monday Night Raw. But Elias has to fucking take Priest to the limit here? Why is this match dragging? Now, the only thing that was good about this matchup was the fact that Bad Bunny didn't interfere. Good. I keep saying fucking Pearce. Priest should be winning matches without any help from Bad Bunny. Should not. Priest is too good for that. He's too fucking good to be needing help from Bad Bunny. Notice how Bad Bunny has been on the show every single week coming out of the Royal Rumble. Now, does that pop the rating? Does that go up to a 2.0 rating? No. Bad Bunny has been on the show every single week since the Rumble, and Raw has not popped a 2.0 rating. Has not. Now, who knows? Will Raw pop a 2.0 rating tomorrow? Probably. Who knows? But, let me say this now. With the tactic that they did tonight, with the WWE Championship match, from the 9 o'clock hour to the 10 o'clock hour to the main event of the show, they might have popped a 2.0 rating, but they don't. But they fucking don't pop a 2.0 rating tomorrow. Let me tell you something, big bro. So why am I saying fucking Adam Pearce? What the fuck, bro? So Damian Priest, the Puerto Rican, wins this match here. The match is wasn't that bad for what it was. It wasn't that bad. Elias takes a headlock from Damian Priest and holds him down. Priest powers his way out and flings Elias over his head, then connects with an uppercut. Priest lands a slew of punches and kicks, then drops Elias with a lariat. Priest hits a running elbow in the corner, then lands a Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Riker gets in the apron and causes a distraction, so Elias rolls him up for a 2 count. Priest jumps off the ropes, but gets caught with a knee in midair. Elias ducks a kick and looks for drift away, but Pearce, I keep saying fucking Jesus fucking Christ. Priest counters. Elias runs him into the buckles and drills his back with forearms. Elias lifts him up for electric chair, but Priest slides down the back, hits the hit of lights, hits the hit the lights. It says here the reckoning. No, it's the hit the lights. That's his new finishing move. Hits his finishing move called the hit the lights and picks up the victory over Elias. So the match was good for what it was. Not bad. Not bad for what it was. Not bad. So we see another promo video to explain how we got to the Miz versus Bobby Lashley. We're creating anticipation, which is set to take place after the break. Now, Kayla Braxton interviews Randy Orton. Backstage and talks about the events unfolding around him and The Fiend, including last week when he coughed up a black liquid. Orton says he doesn't know what the hell has been happening, but he does know Alexa Bliss had a role to play. Orton says that unless Alexa wants to end up like The Fiend, he suggests that she move on with her life. He will show her no compassion, no remorse whatsoever, no mercy. Alexa appears on the TV screen behind Orton, holding a little Jack in the Box. She says there's something Orton should know, and the lights flicker off. We see a hooded figure walk into a dark room and takes his hood down, and it's Randy Orton. He speaks, but it's not his voice, and he says, "Randy, this doesn't end on your terms. Soon you will come face to face with everything you've ever done." that Real Orton watches on and starts coughing up the black liquid again. Now, I watched this Alexa Bliss segment before and tonight. Good stuff, sure. Alexa Bliss has been working some of her best work in her entire career. This is literally her best work ever. Alexa Bliss is the reason why The Fiend is still relevant, even though The Fiend's fucking dead in the sands of Saudi Arabia. Yeah, you thought I forgot about that, right? About how Goldberg beat the fucking Fiend last year in Saudi Arabia, in the fucking sands of Saudi Arabia. You thought I forgot about that. No, I don't forget. Now, this Alexa Bliss segment that we've been getting for the last 2 weeks have been giving me Seed of Chucky vibes. I said this last week, and I'm saying it again this week. This Alexa Bliss is giving me Seed of Chucky vibes. I love it. I love Chucky. Chucky's one of my favorite fucking killers of all time, next to Michael Myers and Freddy and Jason. But Chucky's up there. But Alexa Bliss here is giving me Chucky, Seed of Chucky type vibes, and I fucking love it. I love it. Now, what kind of character are we getting from The Fiend at WrestleMania? It's the same person. It's the same person that ran the Bray Wyatt character. It's the same character that was under the fucking Fiend mask. What good would it do now for a new Bray Wyatt character to come back? We all know for a fact that no matter what new character Bray Wyatt has coming into WrestleMania, it's going to get fucking killed in months. Remember how The Fiend first arrived at SummerSlam 2 years ago against Finn Balor? It was fucking creepy and incredible. Bro, when I saw The Fiend's entrance at SummerSlam 2018 in Toronto 2 years ago, he gave me Undertaker Survivor Series 1990 type vibes. Like, people were legitimately fucking scared. And I fucking loved it. I was behind The Fiend character until what the fuck happened at Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins. That's when... Dead. What makes you think I'm going to care now about this new Fiend character going into WrestleMania with Randy Orton? Will it be good? Possibly. Yes, I think so. But how long will it take them to kill them? To kill the Fiend's new character? How long would it take? Months? Weeks? Days? Knowing this company, you can't put past anything whatsoever in this company. You really can't. But I'm loving... there's these type of segments every single week now with Orton and Bliss keeping The Fiend relevant for WrestleMania. At this point, if I'm Vince and if I'm Bruce, I'm keeping Bray Wyatt's new character off of Monday Night Raw until WrestleMania. Surprise us. Oh, and by the way, for you people to ask me, which night would you put Bray Wyatt versus Orton? Night one. Night number one. So The Miz grabs the microphone before the match and he begs for logic. Miz asking for logic? Bro, you were cramping up at the 9 o'clock hour and you want logic? The Miz says Bobby has waited 17 years for this moment and he needs to do it at WrestleMania. Not here. Yeah, shut the fuck up, Miz. Miz tries to make his case and asks MVP who says it's happening right now. So we get the title match at the 10 o'clock hour. Now, folks, if you didn't watch the show tonight, what did you think happened? Did you think that the match actually happened at the 10 o'clock hour? If you thought so, you're wrong. The title match finally does get underway, and The Miz immediately rolls outside, grabs his title, and springs away backstage. Lashley wins the matchup by count out. Good old bait and switch. Here. So Lashley is fucking furious. He's pissed the fuck off. Coming out of commercial break, Lashley and MVP are backstage with Shane McMahon, and he tries to calm him down. He says The Miz pulled the fast one on them, but he promises there will be a title match tonight. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, since we're getting a title match tonight, maybe Lashley wins the title at the main event of the show. MVP shouts, this is bullshit. No censoring here, which they shouldn't. Good. Shane says he will consider stripping the Miz of the title tonight, but Lashley says he'd rather fight Miz and beat the piss out of him. Then they march off. Now people were telling me, now, Frank, I know you're watching. The group chat that I'm in, Frank was telling me, oh, Chris, you got worked. Frank, let me ask you this question, bro. How am I getting worked when it was inevitable for the Miz to lose the championship tonight? So explain to me, how am I getting worked here? No, but you have to build up there's that word again, anticipation. Anticipation. The match was booked last week. The match was booked on Raw last week. You want to sit there and talk about anticipation when you knew, and I knew, and everybody in that group chat knew that The Miz was not going to walk in the WrestleMania, The Miz was not going to walk in the Fastlane, and The Miz was not going to walk in the Raw next week with the WWE Championship. So please, elaborate. What anticipation? I just want to know. Love you, Frank, but I just want to know what anticipation for a match that was booked for 1 week. Just saying. Just fucking saying. Charlotte comes to the ring and she says the last few weeks have been an emotional roller coaster. She says she came back to Raw and found herself teaming with Asuka, who she respects the hell out of, and she had no desire to be in a title picture. Then she got tangled up in a load of crap with Lacey Evans and her dad. Now she's here 6 weeks away from WrestleMania, and Bianca Belair has chosen Sasha Banks. Asuka has no challenger for WrestleMania, and she decided it should be her. She wants the Raw Women's Championship, but no, Asuka is injured. We will get to Asuka in just a second, because there is news on Asuka. We see a replay of Shayna kicking Asuka's tooth out last week. Charlotte says she knows Asuka better than anyone, and she'll be back stronger than ever when that day comes. She will be waiting. Now, there is news on Asuka. Asuka is out of action for recent injury that happened on Raw this past week. Asuka suffered a pretty stiff kick to the face last week on Raw. Shayna Baszler leveled her and broke the Empress of Tomorrow's smile. The Raw Women's Champion will need some time to heal. Ringside News has been told that Asuka is considered injured after breaking her tooth thanks to Shayna Baszler's foot. She'll be out of action for at least this week, possibly a few weeks. Asuka could always appear on television in some non-wrestling role. The doctor would clear that. They obviously don't want to risk any further damage to Asuka's freshly repaired teeth. So, Fastlane's coming up on March 21st, and Asuka does not have a challenger for the Raw Women's title. She was supposed to wrestle Lacey Evans at the Heyman pay-per-view last Sunday, but that match was called off because of Evans' pregnancy. Now, it was a legit injury. It probably is a concussion. I mean, this could be storyline. So, we'll see what happens there. We'll probably get more news on Asuka this week. We'll probably get more news on her. But I hope Asuka's fine. Because, you know, I did see a tooth fight out last week. And it was a big tooth. So I hope Asuka is fine. So that's the latest on Asuka on the Raw Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler comes out with Nia. And Baszler says Charlotte is talking about herself. What else is new? I felt this from Shayna Baszler. I actually felt this. She says Charlotte calls herself the queen, but she's fighting an uphill battle as an army of one. Baszler says Nia and her are the two most dominant forces in the company. Shayna, I love you, girl, but stop the cap. Stop the fucking cap. And this won't be a normal road to WrestleMania. This isn't fucking normal right now. It's not. Baszler says she needs help, but Nia says nobody likes Flair, and the power dynamic has shifted. It'll be one of them challenging Asuka at WrestleMania. Doubt it. It almost likely to be Charlotte, because you're really gonna keep Charlotte Flair out of WrestleMania. Yeah. Flair says she's right. No one likes her because she is the best. Now, I wouldn't really say that. I wouldn't really say that whatsoever. But I have my own opinion, but it is what it is. Baszler gets in the ring and Charlotte hits her. Then Baszler and Shayna team up. Baszler and Nia team up to maul Flair, and Nia allows a leg drop as we go to commercial. We go to the match between Charlotte and Shayna. Again, the term of the day, folks. Champions should not be losing on live television. Now, based on that term, folks, if you did not watch the show tonight, what did you think happened? Shayna winning? No. Charlotte wins. Now, Nia and Shayna are going to defend the Women's Tag Team Championships on NXT on Wednesday night against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, which I will be reviewing on the channel on Wednesday. Why are we having champions lose on live television? Can I ask why? Why are champions losing on live television? Shayna has to defend the Women's Tag Team titles on Wednesday on NXT against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Why is Shayna losing? They had Nia win her match against Naomi, but why is Shayna losing to Charlotte? I'm telling you, folks, Charlotte Flair is the Roman Reigns of the women's division. Of the Roman Reigns from 2015 to 2019. Charlotte wins. Now, and I'm not going to go over this match yet because why? Why should I? I actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to fuck it because the match is pretty short. So back live, and this match is underway with Baszler battering Charlotte in the corner. Baszler hits a gut-wrench slam for a 2 count. Baszler does some joint manipulation, and we see Naomi and Lana watching from backstage. Charlotte fights up, then drops Baszler, then beats her into the corner and chops her silly. Baszler hits an exploder, but stomping Shayna repeatedly. Charlotte wants to figure 4, but gets kicked out of the ring. Jax runs at Flair, but ends up hitting the steel step. Charlotte gets back inside, but Baszler grabs her for the clutch. Charlotte flings Baszler off, hits a natural selection, gets the victory. Moving on the show, don't care. Don't really fucking care. Shane McMahon's backstage and says they need to tell them that if the Miz doesn't show up for the main event, he'll be stripped of the title and it'll be given to Lashley. We got Riddle and the Lucha House Party versus Retribution. Match is short. Match is fucking short. When you're losing to fucking Riddle and the Lucha, well, if you're losing, period, to the Lucha House Party, that's a fucking problem. It's a fucking problem. So, Riddle tags in Lince Dorado before leaping over the ropes onto Mace. Dorado runs over Slapjack and drop kicks T-Bar off the apron. The Lucha House Party teams up to splash Slapjack and scores the victory. So Riddle and the Lucha House Party win. Mustafa Ali gets in the ring and he's not happy. He berates his minions again. Riddle gets on the apron to get his title, but Mustafa talks trash to him and hangs him to a matchup. We get a non-title match between Riddle and Mustafa Ali. Now, again, with the term of the day, champions should not be losing on live television. They really shouldn't. Mustafa Ali pins Riddle to win this match. Riddle unloads a fury of punches and kicks before landing a Pele kick and flipping to his feet. Riddle hits a running forearm, but another and an exploder. Riddle runs for the PK, but misses, hits a senton, then PK, then goes for the PK for a near fall, hits the PK descent for a near fall. Riddle hits the ripcord knee, heads to the top rope, but Slapjack gets on the apron, distracts the referee, then Ali hits Riddle from behind and boxes whatever move he was trying to attempt. Gets the victory. So Mustafa Ali pins The United States champion. Again, why is champions losing on live television? Hey, folks, welcome to Monday Night Raw, where champions lose on live television. Why? So now, with Mustafa Ali pinning Riddle, does Mustafa Ali face Riddle at Fastlane for the U.S. title? Who knows? Who knows? Miz comes into Shane in Pearce's room and says he had a match tonight. He defended the title against Lashley and did what he had to do to win. He asked what type of match it will be tonight. Shane says he isn't sure yet, but he'll defend it. Miz rants about how the company needs him to survive. No matter what the circumstances are, he does everything and he deserves respect. He says he has been humiliated and that Shane should have protected him. Miz asks Shane what type of champion Bobby Lashley will be, and Shane says they might be about to find out. So Shane comes out after Miz and Lashley met the entrances. Shane comes out and says he did think of a way to make this match fair, so here come the Lumberjacks. We're getting a Lumberjack match, folks, for the WWE Championship between Miz and Bobby Lashley. Now, match starts. Miz tries to hit Lashley with the championship, trying to get him to disqualify because the match was started at this point. Lashley grabs it, hands it to the referee. Miz hits Lashley, but he barely flinches. Miz rolls from the ring and tries to barge in with the Lumberjacks, but he gets thrown back into the ring. Lashley clotheslines Miz, forces him to the corner for repeated shoulder tackles. Lashley tosses Miz across the ring and he rolls out. Miz again tries to bargain, but the Hurt Business threw him back inside. Lashley hits a flatliner, but then gets on top of the Miz and drills him with right hands. Miz punches Lashley, but then again he doesn't bulge. Lashley throws Miz over the ropes with a military press, but he gets caught by Mason T-Bar, and they roll him back in. Miz gets thrown by Lashley into the corner and punches him. Then hits a massive spine buster. Lashley's all fired up, and he lifts Miz, applies the Hurt Lock, and Miz taps out. We get a new WWE champion in Bobby Lashley. Lashley poses with the championship, then points to the WrestleMania sign. MVP then directs him to beat on the Miz some more. So Lashley applies a Hurt Lock again on the Miz, then poses with his foot on the Miz to end Monday Night Raw as Lashley becomes the new WWE champion. I'm happy for Lashley. Happy for him. He has come a long way for me. You know, after being in the Lana situation with him and Rusev, marrying Lana on the worst segment in the history of the fucking show. And then he breaks off with Lana, competes for the championship last year against Drew McIntyre. Backlash match was pretty good for what it was. Then MVP comes back, becomes Lashley's manager. Then the Hurt Business was all built up. The Hurt Business was born. Then we took them serious now, which leads to tonight with Lashley being the new WWE champion. Now, before we get out of here, is Lashley going to walk out of WrestleMania as champion? No. No. I said this on Raw last week. I'm going to say it again here tonight. They had Lashley win the championship because of what happened at the Chamber. They had McIntyre be attacked by Lashley, only for Miz to cash in. And then Miz was trying to make a business proposal with MVP. He took it. Lashley beat the shit out of McIntyre for the Miz to cash in, win the title. Lashley came to collect his debt. And he collected his debt tonight by becoming the new WWE champion. Does Lashley walk out of WrestleMania as champion? No. No. It's either we're getting, and I said this in the beginning of the show, either we're getting Lashley and Lesnar, Lashley and McIntyre, which is now a WrestleMania match, or we're getting a triple threat between Lashley, McIntyre, and Lesnar for WrestleMania, for the title. If they do book a triple threat, if they do, they could have McIntyre pin Lesnar again to recreate what happened last year at WrestleMania, because McIntyre and Lesnar was supposed to have the match last year at Raymond James Stadium, but that didn't happen because of the start of the pandemic. So they had to do it at the Performance Center. Vince had to pull the biggest audible ever. This time, you're having not only McIntyre chase the championship, but you're also having Lesnar come back as well, because Lashley wants Lesnar in a match. Now, they could go with Lashley and Lesnar. They could. But a lot of negative there on that. You're going to have Lashley drop the championship to Lesnar, and Lesnar is going to have to hold that championship hostage again till at least SummerSlam. Now, who knows? Is Brock signed with the company? No one knows. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. And on top of that, it's none of our business. It's none of our business if Brock is signed or not. They're going to keep that low key. So that's what I think will happen at Fastlane. Or not Fastlane, WrestleMania. What does Lashley do at Fastlane? They could do a six-man tag. They could do Lashley and Cedric and Sheldon against McIntyre and 2 random opponents before WrestleMania. I don't think Lashley and Roman should defend their championships with 2 weeks to go before WrestleMania. I don't think so. I don't think Lashley and Roman should be defending their championship with 2 weeks to WrestleMania, because it's Fastlane. Nobody asked for Fastlane. And I said this last week. Why have Fastlane where you can use the whole month of March to build towards WrestleMania? We don't need Fastlane with 2 weeks to WrestleMania. I don't know what they do for Fastlane with Lashley. I don't want Lashley and Roman to defend their titles with 2 weeks to go to WrestleMania. They shouldn't. They really shouldn't. It makes no sense. It makes no sense in my honest opinion. I do love the fact that Lashley now is champion, but I have a strong feeling, even though I want Lashley to have a little long of a title reign, because he had a great 2020 last year. He had a great 2020. I think Lashley will drop the championship at WrestleMania. Now, again, people want Lashley and McIntyre. Why you want Lashley and McIntyre? We saw that matchup last year at Backlash. At a D-level pay-per-view. You want this match to have a WrestleMania type feel? Add Brock Lesnar to it. Add Brock Lesnar. You want this match to feel important? You want this match to feel intense? You want this match to be one of the best matches of all of WrestleMania? You have Brock Lesnar in it. At the same time also, you have that Lashley and Lesnar dynamic. You get that Lashley and McIntyre dynamic. And also, you get that McIntyre and Lesnar dynamic in front of a crowd that they could have done last year. Or should I say that they couldn't do last year because of the start of the pandemic. I think they'll go with Lesnar, Lashley, and McIntyre at WrestleMania for the title. And who walks out of WrestleMania? McIntyre. Because simple, you have to recreate what McIntyre did last year. They couldn't do it last year because of the pandemic, and they had to pull the biggest audible. McIntyre won the championship with no fans last year. This time WrestleMania this year is going to have fans this year. What the capacity is, I don't know. For 2 nights, they're going to have probably a total. If I was to guess how many fans Vince can have for WrestleMania, he's probably going to have around 25 to 30,000. Vince is going to want at least 25 to 30,000 for WrestleMania. The Super Bowl that was in Tampa between the Chiefs and the Bucks and the Buccaneers, they had about, 22, 23,000? Vince is going to want more. So my guess, Vince will probably have anywhere between 25 to 30,000 for WrestleMania for both nights. There you go. I think that's what happened. And knowing Vince, and I wouldn't put anything past Vince at all, he'll probably have Lesnar back for WrestleMania, making it a triple threat where McIntyre wins back the WWE title. Or they could have Lashley retain the title. They could. They possibly could have Lashley retain the championship at WrestleMania. It's a small chance. I can say it happened, sure. I can say it happened. But knowing this company, they're going to want to do everything that happened last year, put it this year. Have McIntyre win back the title because he couldn't do it in front of fans. So this year, he has the opportunity to win it in front of fans. But let's see what happens. I'm intrigued by this. I'm happy for Lashley that he won the title tonight. I'm happy about it. Let's see what happens. So that is the end, folks, of Raw review tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you guys did, leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of Raw. And if you guys are new to the channel and you're watching for the first time and you love what you hear, what you see, hit the subscribe button down below and turn on bell, guys, for all notifications. SmackDown review is live on the channel right now, as well as NXT review from this past Wednesday. Link to both these videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of the screen, as well as down below in the description. I will not upload tomorrow. I will see you guys on Wednesday for NXT. We are getting the women's tag team title match between Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Should be good. I will review NXT on Wednesday right here on the channel. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on Wednesday for NXT. Give a like, comment, subscribe, share the video all over social media. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for NXT review. Till then, I'm Chris. Have a good night, guys. See you guys later.